But you actually are? Yeah. No, you haven't. I don't believe you. No, we're not live yet. Oh wait, we are live. All right, what's up?
It's Craig Leighton.
Yeah, what's going on? All right, so you, Mr. Leighton, so you've been involved in the bass scene for how long? Oh, this is episode 223, right, by the way? Yeah. He's double checking.
I've been doofing for a while.
What?
221? 221, alright. Well, look, I've been doofing for a while. Okay. For more years than I care to count, really.
Yeah.
But I've been like actively DJing and like semi-producing for maybe like 5 years now.
Oh shit, okay.
So it's been a decent little stint. I started like going...
Here we go.
Did a bit in uni. You know, like got my head around some stuff in uni, and then I kind of decided to kick it off. I've always loved like sound systems and like large festival speakers and stuff like that. I never really thought I was going to be a DJ. I kind of just fell into it.
How did you fall into it? So like what happened right at the beginning? So like what got you into music?
So very, very long time ago, I was probably like 12 or 13. I was living in a small mining town called Newman.
No shit.
With my mum and her partner at the time.
Please Google Newman. I've been there before.
Oh, it's proper ghetto, dude.
Yeah, I've had to take someone to the hospital there. I don't know if it's good taking you to the hospital here.
Proper ghetto.
Wait, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, not the other one. But yeah, go on the map. It looks... Yeah, it's a country town.
It's like 10, 15 years ago, it was a lot different to how it is today.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was, I mean, I enjoyed it though. It was a really cool place to grow up in, like your young teenage years, like just kind of before you start getting into shit that'll get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Newman and small country towns are a really cool place to be because it's just like you know everybody, you're mates with everybody.
Yep.
It's very like close knit community vibes.
Yep.
But yeah, anyways, so long time ago when I was living there, I was actually in a dance crew, a breaking dance crew.
But whilst you were there?
Yeah, whilst I was living in Newman. So
no
yeah, so
shit.
like one of the youth centres got these like b-boy guys up from Perth, and I was just like fucking infatuated with it. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that like people did this. So yeah, I got really heavy into my breakdancing for like 3 or 4 years.
Can you do any like cool spins or anything?
Probably I could back then, not today.
yeah,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
fair. Like head spin?
Yeah, I could do most of it. Hey, like we went on a little tour. So like Phoenix dance crew. There was one in Port Hedland as well. I can't remember the name of it, but the guys in Newman were called Phoenix Crew, and we would go like battle the guys in Port Hedland and like do fucking fundraiser shows and shit like that. It was really fucking cool.
Cool, yeah.
So yeah, that was like my introductory to like music. Obviously, my mum was like a massive like Tupac, Biggie, like old school fan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
one of the whitest women you'll ever meet, but fuck, she was gangster. Oh, dough. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Come on, why not? I won't find you.
I don't think there's many videos floating around anymore, honestly. But fuck, if you could find one.
Oh my god, if we could find one from 10 years ago.
My mum has some saved that I've buried very, very well.
Wait, go back to the first page, and then click the Phoenix Dance Crew. That's not it? Ah, okay then.
K-pop crew, no.
No, yeah, no, not K-pop.
But I mean, we're in the paper a few times. We got, like, probably the coolest thing to come out of this was we won our group cohesively won the West Young Australians Award, I think.
That's cool.
For like 2013 or 2014 or some shit like that, or we were like runners up or some shit. I remember it was being pretty big. I'd moved away before it.
So when did you move? So you were there for how long?
So I was in Newman from like 2011 to like 2013 or 2014.
Okay. But like, what? Only for the 3 years that you were there?
Yeah. So for the 3 years that I was there, so like my mum's partner at the time. Was working for fucking McMahon's or some shit, and we moved up there from Perth for the 3 years so he could get residential.
Yep.
So yeah, that was kind of like my introductory to like music and stuff like that before I just like actively listen to it, you know, like know all the words, sing with my mum and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then later on, where did I go from there? We came back from Newman to Perth, say like end of 2013, start of 2014, and I bounced around a fair bit. Like we came back to live with my nan up in 2J at the time.
Yeah.
And then like didn't really.
Whereabouts is 2J?
Kind of like an hour and a half, like northeast of Perth.
Maybe. Yeah, so it's before Geraldton then, right?
Oh yeah, way before. Yanchep, where I live now, is like way fucking closer to Geraldton than 2J. 2J is like, you know where York is?
Yeah.
Kind of on the way up to York.
Okay. Yeah. I'm still baffled that you live in 2J and you make this trek here all the time.
No. So I don't live in 2J now. I live in Yanchep now. But
Sorry, I meant Yanchep. Yeah, because Yanchep's still.
I mean, people think it's far away, but it's like fucking. I'd do it every day. It's like, it's not too bad. It's only like 45.
Yeah.
Chuck tunes on, fucking listen to some half decent whips that I'm trying to fucking cook up.
But see, that's the thing. Like, growing up in Bustleton, I used to go to Bunbury all the time. All the events, nightclubs, and everything, and it's 40 minutes away.
And people think it's miles away, and you're like, fucking it is. Like, if you don't do it all the time, it is a drive. But like, it's nothing to me now.
Yeah.
I've lived there for fucking so long. But yeah, so like coming back from Newman, moved in with my nan and pop, and then kind of just like stopped doing any kind of dancing stuff. That was probably like in my like mid 13, 14, so I'd kind of just discovered what girls were. I was like, fuck that shit, man. Oh my god. But I still did a little bit. I kept it like in Newman. It was a lot more because it was a close knit community. It was cool. It was something new. When I came to Perth, and what was the first school? I came back to Perth and I went to Eastern Hills Senior High School. So another thing that not a lot of people know about me is I went to like 15 different schools.
Damn. What? Okay.
Yeah, we bounced around a lot as kids.
Yeah.
So some people might take that as like, oh shit, turbulent life, which it was, but it also made me really good at making friends.
That's it.
I got really good people skills from it. I got some really long-lasting friendships out of it. I was one of those kids that like kind of didn't really fit in with anybody, but wasn't like not cool with everybody.
That's cool. Yeah.
Man, at this school, I fucking got bullied a bit because I was a fucking weirdo, but
but we all did that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's it. It's all high school. Like exactly. That's what shit happens.
Like year 7 to like year 9, man, I was a fucking weird kid, dude.
Yeah. No, similar thing. From year 7 till year 10, then I dropped out year 10. Yeah. So I dropped out end of year 9, beginning of year 10. Because I was over it. My parents were like, no, taking you out. You're getting bullied. Yeah. Fuck this shit. Like,
well, my mum ended up doing the same, like a similar thing. Like I had been to 2J before, but I wasn't in the catchment area where we were living anymore. So I ended up going from Eastern Hills to Northam.
Yeah.
And Northam had a really bad stigma. Shout out all my Northam people if you're fucking watching this. Northam had a really bad stigma for being like a really hard school. So did Eastern Hills, but like Northam it kind of brought me back to like the Newman vibes. Like it was a very close-knit community. I had a lot of family adjacent, like people living around there. So I was looked after well, and I made some really cool friends. So yeah, it was an interesting little like 4 or 5 year period.
That's
there.
Crazy though. So it's like Newman, and then like Northam, and then 2J.
Starting at the beginning, man, I went from Armidale to Gosnells to Kelmscott to where do we go then? Then I went to Osborne Park, and from Osborne Park we went to Newman. From Newman we came back down to Perth. So I went to the primary school and the high school in Newman, and then we came back down to Perth. I went to Eastern Hills, Northam, back to 2J, back to Northam, and then I went to Ellenbrook for a while. Fucking shittest school in the world.
Nice, yeah.
And then where did I go from there? Shout out to Ellenbrook, yeah. There'll probably be like 2 people from Ellenbrook watching this that I'm still good with, and they're just like shaking their heads right now. And then where did I go after that? After that we moved up to Yanchep, and that's kind of where my life like stabilized a little bit. Like my mum split up from her very abusive partner. And our life kind of chilled out a little bit. Yanchep is like probably the only place that I feel like is home. Like I've been so many places and I'm comfortable in a lot of places, but when I go back to Yanchep, I'm always like, fuck, this is where I am.
I haven't been to Yanchep until recently.
There's a vibe, dude.
And honestly, like from going up there and going swimming there,
it's so nice.
Doing what I was doing there, like I liked it a lot. I really liked it.
Yanchep is like, especially when I moved there, it was still like, it had like, there was no fucking train line didn't go there, freeway didn't go there, so it was still like a small beach town. Like if you went to the district high school, you knew everybody. Like, and fucking it was really cool. The only thing that was probably bad about moving to Yanchep at that time in my life was everybody there smoked weed, and like that was
you got roped
that was just what you did. Shout out to my brother Begsy. Had my first ever fucking billy in his fucking backyard.
Bloody Begsy. Okay, yeah. Nice. He's coming on here soon.
Yeah,
as well.
he fucking better. He's got some good shit to talk about.
Yeah, he does.
You need to have me and him on at the same time. We'll fucking tell you some wild stories.
We could maybe do that. Actually, we could maybe schedule that in.
Wild stories.
But yeah, so he was smoking billies in the backyard.
Yeah, smoking billies in his backyard, and his mum, Corrie, fucking bless her heart. We would come home from school, and she wouldn't get home till later, and we'd be sitting in his backyard, and she'd fucking boot open the door and be like, "Are you boys bent again?" Like fucking sitting there like Cheech and Chong, like, no, we're good. I'm just really hungry all of a sudden. Like,
where's the snacks at?
It was a vibe though. Like I'm super thankful for my mum to kind of move us there at that time in my life, because it could have gone two very different ways. I had kind of those paths laid out where I could either fuck around a little bit but be in a community where that's kind of safe, or we could have moved back to say like Gosnells, where I would have just become a very shitty person.
Different
very
person.
different person.
Maybe a little bit derelict.
Well, I mean, shout out to my Dero roots. Fucking, it's I'm glad that it happened the way that it happened.
Yeah.
It could have gone very bad.
Yeah, that's all right. But then, then with that, so there was a dance troupe, traveling different schools.
Yep.
Finally landed in Yanchep.
Yep.
But then, where did the music come from?
So Yanchep. So Zach and I. Zach's house was known as like the party house. Like his mum and dad were really cool. They were very much like community mum and dad. Like they looked after anybody. They were like stray catchers. Like if you didn't have lunch or fucking, you wanted someone to talk to, Zach's mum and dad were very much the people that you would go to and discuss that shit with. They were like a cool brother and sister to say. So Zach and I started throwing like house parties and shit. And like we used to get like whatever speakers we could find, and like fucking Jerry, this is where my love for speakers came from. We'd like jerry rig his dad's like hi-fi system into like whatever fucking bulk rubbish speakers we could find, and then we'd just get everybody from town to come into his like fucking, I don't know, 30 by 30 backyard and just start pumping like stupid music. Like we kind of knew like Wobbs like was a big thing back then, or like Melbourne Bounce and shit like that, so we were very much like into that kind of stuff, but we didn't really know what it was. We didn't know that there was like a culture or a scene behind it. It was kind of like it just sounds cool, and we kind of blanketed everything. Like, now Zach and I, me more so, I'm a bit of a fucking, it's this genre because I've listened to so much music. But at that time in my life, it was cool. Like we thought that we were the fucking shit. Like we've got 50 people in this backyard and there's like 4 hot chicks and we fucking made it, man. Like it was a time. It was a real fucking time. I've got some really good memories.
That's it. 26 dudes, you got the 4 girls.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Hoping that matters. So like back in those days too, Yanchep and Butler had a real fucking stick up their ass about each other.
Really?
So like a bunch of Butler boys would like gate crash your party, and then like fucking Zach's mum and dad would come out and be like, "Fuck off, you cunts!" Like, and we'd be sitting at the back like, just fuck yeah, like. This is before we had discovered like MDMA and all that kind of shit too. So we're just like stealing Zach's dad's fucking crownies out of the fridge, getting absolutely trashed off 4 beers. Yeah.
With 50 people in the backyard, they probably don't have booze either.
No. That's what it was. One of those things where everybody would be like, "All right, we'd tell you the day before," and you'd like raid your mum and dad's fucking liquor cupboard and bring whatever concoction you could find, and then we'd just like pour it all in together and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna get so fucked up." Like,
yeah, those days was good. Yeah.
It was a fucking vibe, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
So from that, we kind of got known as like the guys who threw the parties in Yanchep, and like we used to, a cool one to bring up I think would be Club Cap. Club Capricorn, when we were teenagers and little fucking Deros, it had been kind of like semi-demolished.
Club Capricorn?
Yeah, Club Capricorn, man.
Really?
So,
I've never heard of this before.
Club Capricorn was like the spot in Yanchep. If you wanted to go and do graffiti and fucking be a delinquent, this is where you went. So it definitely didn't look like that when we were in there.
But it was just like a beach or something?
So no. It was like it used to be like a big chalet, like a country club kind of thing. And by the time that we were teenagers, this was all fucking deroed and like it had been burnt down, and people used to fucking smoke crack in there and shit. Like it was the place to go to be derelict as a teenager in Yanchep. So we used to go there and throw like little parties and shit, and there was like a pool out the back and people would skate in it. It was very like movie-esque, like fucking teenage party Project X kind of thing, and we thought we were the shit, bro. We thought the sun shone out of our
go
eyes.
back down. So I think
This was massive, like in the like late 90s, early 2000s. If you were going to Yanchep, this was probably where you were going.
Yeah, okay. Go back up. That Viking, is he near that?
Yeah, so that's the King of Atlantis, so that's in Two Rocks.
Yeah,
that's just up the road. That's like all heritage listed and shit now.
Yeah, I saw that
like,
the other day. Yeah.
Club Cap now is like it's fucking been subdivided and it's like all gentrified now and shit. But when we were kids and we were like super into our fucking graffiti and like urban shit, like that's where we would go and do that stuff. You know, it was probably not safe thinking back on it now. It definitely wasn't safe, but it was a cool place to express yourself as a teenager in a small country town. If you didn't want to fucking smoke crack and you just wanted to do cool stuff, this is where we would go and do it. And yeah, we probably did some shit we shouldn't have done. Like the reason I think it finally got fenced, that's what it looked like when I was there. Shit.
That's what it looked like.
And we'd go and fucking like bomb tag. Bro, people used to do like urban exploring and there was some really famous graffiti artists went in there and did some just outrageous graffiti. And it was like a very hot like urban X, similar to like I'd put it on par with kind of like the Frio
power station.
The power station, you know, like people would go in there and do just like crazy art. And we would go in there as fucking 14-year-old kids and be like, oh, I'm gonna smoke some weed, do some fucking shitty tags on the walls, hell yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
But yeah, like I spend a lot of time there, and that's kind of where our love to tie it all back in, that's kind of where our love for like the party sphere came from. You know, like we'd go there, throw a cool party, everybody would fucking be like, oh my god, you're crazy, god damn it.
Oh, shit, here we go. Alright, so who has commented? Big shout out to Alex G.
Shout out to my boy Jamie Egerton. Shout out to my boy Begsy. They already know. Yeah. People came from all. See, Zach knows. People came from all over to fucking spray paint this place. It was fucking insane. Like, and thinking back on it now as like an adult and like my love for like urban culture now, like we're so privileged to kind of be there in that little golden era before it got demolished, and like just after all the cool graffiti artists had discovered what it was. Like, fuck, man, we saw some mad shit in there, eh?
Yeah, okay.
Saw some mad shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, but it's obviously been turned into a...
Oh, yeah, bro, the last time we went there, some fucking... like, tied in again, a bunch of guys from Butler came up and they set this fucking mattress on fire in one of the rooms and the whole thing just went up. Like, yeah, okay. That was the first time that I ever ran from the cops.
Wait, so were you there?
Yeah, bro. We were there running a party and these fucking Butler cunts came. They were a little bit older than us. And they came and fucking, yeah, one of them, like, set this mattress on fire. It was like, I think it was a stack of mattresses from the chalets and, like, put it in this back room. And there's, like, let's say, like, maybe 70, 80 people around and we'd all, like, there'd be a different room and it would be a different vibe kind of thing. Like, there was always, like, older guys that would be fucking smoking crack in the corner. But... yeah, like it was cool, and then yeah, fucking a bunch of these Butler kids came and just basically set these mattresses on fire. The whole thing went up, and yeah, that was the first time I ever ran from the cops.
How many times you ran from the cops?
A couple of times since then. Couple of times since then, but not these days. But
yeah, not these days.
From like 14 to like maybe fucking 17. It was, There's a good little chunk in there of delinquency.
A little bit rebellious. Yeah.
I mean, what?
So after it burnt down, what did you do then?
After it burnt down, that's kind of when the group collective, like a bunch of our parents heard about this too, and like we're fucking, you know, you can't be hanging out with Zach, or you can't be hanging out with, like, people used to say that about me and Zach, right? About Zach specifically. I remember my mum saying once, like, oh, this Zach kid doesn't sound like a good idea. Like, it's fucking whatever. This is my boy. I fucking shout out my boy. I love Zach.
He's your boy. Shout out Zach. As I said, you guys both should come on here.
Oh, dude, we've got some fucking cool stories about this shit. Yeah. Like a bunch of parents heard about this and were kind of like, you can't go to these parties anymore, because everybody's mum and dad knew about it. Like I said, small country town, everybody knew if you're going to a party, you're probably coming to like Zach's house to party. So no, yeah, his mum and dad hated it by the end of it, but fuck, we thought we were the shit. So
nice. Yeah,
kind of like segueing from that, we probably had like 2 odd years of like just being like general delinquents, like getting a little bit heavier into our like not so much partying, but like experimenting with different drugs. Like we used to throw like heaps of like little parties at Zach's house. Like a couple of them got a little bit out of control, and then like when I say out of control, there's just too many people. There's never really like fights or anything, but just too many people. So we kind of like quieted down after that, and it was probably like when we were 16 or 17, we used to hang out with a bunch of guys from like 2 or 3 years above us in school. And they used to go to these things called fucking bush doofs, which, you know, it was a new word to us. We hadn't heard of it. Like, to be honest with you, when I first heard of bush doofs and people gave me the rundown on what it was, I was kind of scared. I was like, a bunch of people out in the bush for 3 days with like no
food, water.
No, I knew before, but I just mean no authority. You know, like when you throw a house party, there's always that like, okay, if something goes wrong, I can just call the cops.
Yeah.
When you're out in the middle of the fucking bush, you can't do that. You know, it's kind of very dependent on the people running the gig, and like a bunch of my mum's friends had been doofing in like the 90s and like told me a bunch of horror stories about people fucking shelving acid and dying and all this shit, which was a complete and utter bullshit. I've done it, so you know, it doesn't, you're not gonna die.
What up the damn? All right.
Fucking
just release that info.
You don't die from it. Hey man, try everything once.
Acid up the cooter.
You don't die from it. So I heard a bunch of horror stories, and then I think it was proved wrong. But yeah, so a bunch of our older mates invited us out to one of these bush doofs, and the guy or the crew at that point in doofing that was like on top was called Forest Rescue. Shout out, you know, not that I should be shouting out Forest Rescue, but shout out Forest Rescue to the parties that they had that were good before it got real bad. The tail end of the Forest Rescue parties were not very good. Not the best. They were dangerous parties that my aunties and shit were telling me about. It was one of those parties, like, it could go good, could go very bad. 9 times out of 10 probably will go very bad. But yeah, shout out to Forest Rescue, just because that was the first bush doof that I ever went to. It was called Fireworld, actually. It was like, and I remember getting in the car. Shout out to my fucking OG sister, Shalise. She had just got her license, the first one in the friend group.
This just sounds like such a recipe for disaster.
Dude,
9 times out of 10, they'll be bad.
Like,
and it's called Fireworld.
No, at that time of doofing, like, it was still very much about the doof. At the end of the Forest Rescue, say like 2018, the tail end of 2018, it became very much about like clout and money and all that kind of shit. As the cycle goes, you know, everything starts off from a good idea, and then people get involved, and then egos get involved, and it blows up into this massive fucking bullshit.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But so we went to this doof called Fireworld. A bunch of our older mates kind of like coaxed us out to like feed us a bunch of fucking MDMA and basically laugh at us is what I remember. Begsy might remember it a different way, but that's what I remember. So yeah, Shalise was the first one to get her license. She had this big fucking patrol that her dad bought her. And so we all bailed up into the car on a fucking Friday afternoon. We're all like, how does this work? Like, how do we figure out where it is? Like, we'd never ever been to anything like this before, and you get sent the deets on your phone, and you've got to fucking like triangulate these fucking old school like 7Ks left, 9Ks turn right, don't turn down the fork, like. So I think I was navigator for that doof too. So, you know, fucking 16, 17-year-old me sitting there looking at this phone, driving down this bush track.
Is that how old you were when you?
Yeah, I think we were like 16 or 17. I think when we went to our first doof. Fucking, you know, begs you to confirm, but we were young, bro. We were fucking young. And there's kids like, the cool thing about doofing is there's no age limit on it. You know, I've seen fucking 80-year-old nanas and 6-month-old babies on the same dance floor. Like, and a lot of people have a problem with that, but you know, you can't have a problem with something you've never experienced. So
exactly,
you know, it's very wholesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we fucking went out to this bush doof, and a bunch of our older mates were like, yeah, fucking come camp with us, all this kind of stuff. Shout out to them, because like, if they didn't do that, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today, had I not gone to that fucking bush doof.
Well, you've done, from what I can gather, you've done so much in the bush doof community now.
I've done a bit, bro. I got lucky, so we were very lucky to slot in when we did at our point, because like I said, Forest Rescue had kind of been like the top dog for a few years, and doofing goes through this, like, doof crews go through a cycle of like, you know, one crew will throw 3 or 4 like decent parties, and then they'll have one big one out of nowhere that just fucking blows up. And you know, it's very much you know, obviously a lot of the money comes out, but a lot of money also goes back into the production.
There you go. Is that 18
or 19. Yeah, I was going to say, I think we were like, cusp of 17, cusp of 18, like, we were fucking young though.
Zach's fact checking. Nice.
There's a photo up on one of my socials of the first bush doof we ever went to.
Really? Wait, let's see if we can pull up Instagram and go right.
I think it might be on my Facey, on like ages ago on my Facey. Okay. My Facey's locked down.
Don't stalk his Facebook.
it's fucking locked down like Fort Knox anyway. So fucking where was I? Yeah, like a lot of doof crews went through a cycle of like having big ups or big downs or big lulls. But at the end of that, hometree, shout out my hometree crew.
Look up hometree if that's right, because that's still going and still.
Yeah. Hometree, fucking Jez and all the boys. They're doing good. When we might not be seeing eye to eye on a lot of stuff at the moment, but like if Jeremy's listening to this, bro, I wish you the best. I love you, man.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the time that we got. I kind of, what's the word? Like apprenticed under Jeremy for a few years.
Yeah.
And that's who I learnt doofing from. Like we had kind of seen fucking crazy shit, boy. My rain dance crew, shout out John, shout out fucking E-Putty, shout out little boys,
Ewan and Johnny. John.
So I kind of like apprenticed under Jez for a few years. I got to like learn the basics, all that kind of stuff. Fucking backtrack for a second.
Wait, go back to the other photo. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that sexy guy. Look at that sexy guy. That's my dad.
That's his dad. If he's watching, he's there.
Shout out to my boy E-Putty, not for just being a fucking awesome human, but for just being like amazing.
Yeah, just for being Ewan. There you go. What a photo that is, I have to say.
He's so photogenic. He'll never say it, but fuck, man looks good.
Yeah,
man looks good.
Yeah. Look, picture worth $1 million.
Take me with you. Take me with you when you're famous.
But yeah, so go on though. So
fuck yeah. I feel like I'm okay. So I apprenticed under Jeremy for a few years. I got a really good knowledge on, I'd kind of been to uni for a little bit, got a bit of knowledge on sound systems. And then I kind of fell into...
because you studied that at uni, didn't you?
I did a bit of sound engineering stuff at uni, not to fucking toot my own horn, but...
What uni did you go to?
SAE.
SAE, and how was it doing it? Like,
I'm a fucking terrible student, so
at least you're honest.
Fucking hated it, man. I have no idea how I passed, like, honestly. I spent most of my time at SAE absolutely fucking pissed out of my skull. But it was one of those things like I didn't know how to work in a group at the time, and a lot of the curriculum was group learning. Obviously, as music is like a community-based fucking thing. I just wanted to make really cool drum and bass and fucking do sound systems. That's all I wanted. I didn't care what the guy next to me was fucking doing or how good he was. And I was fucking dog shit. I was terrible. I listened back to, funny we're talking about this, I listened back to my first ever SAE project file maybe like a week ago, and I wanted to peel my ears off my face. Absolutely dog shit. But everybody starts somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I went to SAE, got my knowledge on what I wanted to do or what I wanted to make out of it, and then lost my train of thought. Hometree.
How just before we do that as well, so how was that first bush stuff you went to?
The first bush stuff I went to was insane. It was the first time I ever did acid.
Yeah, just went straight into it. But E-Putty is here. Was here.
Is here. Shout out to my boy Josh Betts. I fucking love you. Shout out to my boy Cody.
Yeah, there you go. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching everything and doing your thing. But so it was good.
So my first bush, I had experienced drum and bass at that point and had kind of fallen in love with it, obviously, hence the fucking bass fiend tattoo that I have plastered on my arm. I fell in love with drum and bass very heavily, and I had never experienced psytrance before. I didn't know what it was. I'd never heard it, so we rocked up to this fucking bush doof, and it's just thundering psytrance. And I got out of the car. I remember very distinctly getting out of the car, looking around, and I had this fucking knitted poncho thing that my auntie made for me. And I remember looking down at it, looking up at everyone else, and just going this is going to be fun. This is going to be cool. I have no idea what this fucking music is, but I'm going to take a lot of drugs and it'll get really weird. So fucking...
That's such a good way to look at it.
My boy Seth Gibson, fucking, bit of self-incriminating here, sold me 2 fucking sugar cubes of acid. And I'd done MDMA, I think, a couple of times at that point. I was one of the last people in our group to really get
into everything.
Get into experiment.
Yeah, experiment.
I a lot of my family has gone through a lot of drug abuse issues, so I was quite apprehensive to kind of do anything.
But and aware and just like cautious.
Exactly, but like when in Rome, you fucking, you do what the Romans do.
That's it. You're wearing a poncho and everyone else
wearing a poncho.
So it's like pass those sugar cubes here.
So Seth, funny story, bro. Seth is actually like 2 years younger than me, but he was friends with our older mates. So he was kind of better in with them, and he was like a little bit of a bridge. I'm going to get on to the Jamie Egerton topic in a minute too, because I can't not say these stories without mentioning my boy Jamie. He was a bit younger than me, and I was a little bit, obviously a little bit older, and I was like, fucking sell me some acid, I want to try it, fucking 2 sugar cubes straight to the dome. And so it rolls around 7-8 o'clock. I think the 7-8 o'clock who was playing, fucking shout out Game Over. My first like drum and bass experience in the bush was Pete Donaldson playing some absolutely vicious neurofunk. At that time I had never experienced that kind of drum and bass, but anyways, as the night gets on, everybody's starting to fucking come out of the woodwork. As anyone who has been to a bush doof knows, that as soon as that sun goes down, that's when the fucking party starts. So it was probably like 8-9 o'clock at night, and I was like, everybody's in the crew, we're all fucking sitting there eating some food, getting ready for the night, sinking some beers. And so I fucking dropped this first sugar cube in my mouth with the most anxiety I've ever experienced in my life, being
surprised.
Like, I don't know how this is going to go. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Fucking whatever. But I'd kind of made a promise to myself at the start of it, like, no matter what happens, I'm just going to enjoy it. Like, I'm here. I might not ever get, at that time I was like, I might not ever get to experience this again. Like, I'm just going to try and go hard. So I took this fucking sugar cube, and 2-3 hours pass, and anybody who's experimented with any kind of new thing, when you take something new, you don't really know what you're looking for. So I didn't know what a trip was. I'd never experienced it, so I didn't know if I was fucking tripping balls or absolutely stone cold sober. So I walk back up to Seth and I'm like, fucking give me another one. And he's like, no, dude, that's really strong acid. Like, this is your first time. You don't need any more. Fucking rah-rah. And I was like, give me another one. I don't feel anything. So fucking he gives me another one to his own apprehension. And it came with a disclaimer. He's like, if you take this and you loop out, I'm not looking after you. I've warned you. And I was like, shout out, fair,
Yep.
So he gave me the other one, I fucking took it, and I'm sitting there listening to fucking really weird, sploinky, psychedelic music, and something kind of just clicks in my head, and I remember looking over at Shalisa's car very slowly, or it felt slowly anyway, and her whole car, you ever seen those fucking big, like, the big bubbles, where they have like a big soap dish on the floor and then they go like that and the whole bubble waves? Her entire fucking car did that, dude. I remember looking at, this is one of the only acid trips that I remember, obviously my first one. And literally, her fucking whole car looked like that. I looked over at her car, man, and the end, at the end of the patrol went, and then went bang, and then from that moment I was like, I am fucking tripping dicks right now.
You just saw a bubble car.
I just saw a bubble car, and then but like I distinctly remember like not being scared at that moment. I was like, this is fucking cool, and I felt this this just sense of like love. I wasn't scared. There was no like bone or anything in my body that was like, this is going to be bad. Up until about 5 hours later, when I got stuck in a really hectic loop, and I made my bed like 6 times. I was fucking sitting in a little tent. It was tiny little like 1-man, 2-man tent, and I was like getting a little bit flustered, and really hard psychedelic music mixed with psychedelics can put you in a very interesting place. So I went back to my fucking tent to try and chill out, and thankfully one of the older boys, Sassy, shout out Sassy, came and saw me like fucking looping in my fucking tent, just like getting up and like making my bed. I was trying to get comfortable and just like relax for a second, and I couldn't. And he comes over and he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, bro, you're stuck in a loop, you need to get out. Small trap spaces on acid isn't a good idea to anyone who's never done it. So he taps me on the shoulder and he's like, fucking get out of the tent, bro, get out of the tent. So I was like, all right, fuck, I'll get up. Went for a walk. This is the best walk I've ever had in my life. I remember walking around the doof completely lost. I had no sense of time, sense of self, sense of anything. I was just walking around as this like consciousness fucking floating through a party. And I remember getting stuck in a spider web. I fucking hate spiders.
I'm the same.
Fuck you, spiders. And I remember getting stuck in a spider web, but I was admiring it. I was like, holy shit, some spider is just taking its whole fucking life to build this spider web, and I've just walked through it. I'm a cunt. Like, mini ego death fucking bullshit.
Yeah, mini ego death.
Yeah, I was like, I just ruined this spider's fucking house. I'm an absolute fucking piece of shit.
And then you come out of it and it's like, I gotta be nice.
Yeah, it's shit like that though. I gotta think more about the little guy, you know? Like, so that was like my first doof. I'm probably leaving out a bunch of cool shit here. Begsy's got more stories like of that first doof, you know, like it was a time. Yeah, it was a time. I'm very thankful that I got to experience that.
And then so linking that up to hometree, because where were we going to go with hometree? There's a couple steps in between there. So after that first doof, we kind of got hooked. We went religiously for like 6 months, like every single weekend. We were like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like the culture, the people, it was a new thing for us, you know, like small country town kids, excuse me. Partying in the country.
Yeah, we'd never been exposed to that though. We didn't know that was a thing. So when we found it, we really like latched onto it and was like, this is cool. We finally found, you know, we were always weird kids who liked weird shit. But we finally kind of found somewhere where we felt like, cool, this is like our people kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think we went religiously for about 6 months. And then I took a big 6-month break. So I was in a relationship at the time with a girl called Angel. Shout out Angel. Mm-hmm. And she and I didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things about doofing. Like, I was very apprehensive to let her come out, to my own detriment, trying to control a very strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
I was very concerned about how retarded we were getting and my incapability to be able to protect her if anything did happen, because obviously I was a fucking 17-year-old kid and I'd heard all these horror stories and I'd seen, you know, like there's creeps on the dance floor and shit like that, and things, you know, people are on a lot of substances, things get misconstrued and you know, miscommunicated and stuff like that, and I was just worried about her safety. So I had a big break after about 6 months, and that's kind of when Begsy's like career kind of kicked off in that 6-month break that I had.
Yeah.
So he went and played a bunch of like shows. I think his first one was Earth Dance, many years ago.
Hey Begsy, fact check that.
Yeah, I remember that one, my bro. I remember it vividly. There was a fucking big spiderweb stage and Begsy's in there. I remember it because it was the first moment that I went like, that's my fucking boy, you know, like.
Very cool.
There's a lot of people will get, especially in the music world and stuff like that, a lot of people get fucking, you know, like, oh, I should be here or I should be there, but I had nothing but like, holy shit, like this is insane. My boy's up there playing a fucking wicked set.
Yeah, Earth Dance as well, which is pretty,
Earth Dance, yeah.
It's pretty good.
So it's global, you know. Yeah. And so at that time, I think it was a guy called Mev running Earth Dance. I don't have many good things to say about Mev, so I'm just not going to say them. But yeah, it was cool. Like, so
I like the honesty.
I'm an open book, man.
Yeah, that's good. It's way to be. But so Begsy played at Earth Dance.
So Begsy played at Earth Dance. I had a big 6-month break because of the relationship that I was in, and then I think it was. What party did I go to next? I think it was one of the first hometree New Year's that I ever went to, so it was probably one of the biggest. It was the biggest doof I'd ever been to. It was like 2,000 people in the bush, and it was like fucking peak hometree. Like I again took acid, and so this is my introductory story to Jeremy. I took acid, got absolutely fucking cook-eyed. Angel was out at that doof as well. They had the countdown projected onto the trees, and anybody who was there remember it was fucking insane. I managed to somehow acid teleport my way onto the stage 5 minutes before the countdown, and John was playing at that time.
Did you know John at that time?
No, fuck no, dude. I was just some weird little lanky kid in the crowd, like fucking stomping to psytrance. Can't interject here. You can't talk about that era of doofing without talking about Dank Stank. You know, shout out to fucking Steve, and you know, as much pain as it's going to cause me, shout out to Jared for that time, because that they were Perth staple. Like Dank Stank was, if you were a doofer in that time and you heard a Dank Stank set, you were fucking hooked. Party prog, oh my Jesus. Wow. This era of doofing, bro, is like, I don't care what anyone says, everybody does it from different eras. This was the fucking golden era of doofing. Like, the two little fucking Perth guys just decided to make some fucking insane music, and we got to party to it. I got to see this live. It was fucking insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Fucking.
It seems like they've got a bit of a following. Like
Dang Stank's been around for a hot minute. They're not real active anymore. Steve and Jared don't really see eye to eye. Again, I don't have many things nice to say about Jared, so I won't say them.
Yeah.
But that for that time and that era, that was fucking insane. Like they were our first kind of like superstars in that era. You know, like we Zach and I. We looked up to them like the fucking sun shone out of their ass. They were like, they made all their own tunes. They played vicious sets. They always got the primetime slots, and they would like people would come just to watch them. Like, it's fucking insane. So that's like my interjection. So then what I think. Dang Stank had just finished, and I think in my acid brain I wanted to go up and say like, oh my god, I love your music, but somehow managed to teleport my way onto the stage, and John's 20 Hertz is playing, and fucking 20 Hertz was insane at that time as well, and I just remember being on the stage looking at him. John looks back at me, and because he's night blind, I don't think he saw that I was standing there.
Bloody John.
Yeah, the main stage is honestly the funniest part of the whole party. Zach knows. I'm just like this little bro. I was fucking this like lanky little kid on this fucking huge stage, and everybody knew like I was just like standing out like a sore thumb. I was not meant to be there, and I have no idea how I'd like acid teleported there. But yeah, see, fucking Jeremy looks at me and kind of looks at John and goes, "Do you fucking know this kid?" And I'm just standing there like fucking grinning eye to eye, like, oh my god, I'm up on the stage, like holy shit, it all kind of hit me, and it was just a sea of people. Like I'd never seen that many people.
How many people do you reckon?
There was like 2,000 people at that party, bro. A legal bush party.
On the stage.
And I'm on the stage like watching these guys just absolutely like. John was in the zone. This was back when he used to fucking like, he would jump up on stage and get his fucking machine and just like start finger drumming and shit. Like it was a time, bro.
That's cool. I had no idea he did that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fucking shout out my boy Johnny. He's got some tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Bring back 20 Hertz, John. Fucking, I love Elusive, but bring back 20 Hertz. 20 Hertz was sick. So yeah, I'm up on the stage, fucking being a delinquent, and Jeremy looks at me and goes, you know, do you fucking know this kid? And he comes over in his, you know, big fucking luscious long hair self, kind of puts his arm around me and goes, hey mate, you just get the fuck off the stage. And I had just felt this instant imminent dread wash over me of like, I'm on the stage. What the fuck? Like, holy shit.
What am I doing?
What have I done? And I obviously acid, like I was like super like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, fucking blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it fucking kicked me off the stage. That was like my first introduction to Jeremy and the boys, and thankfully they don't remember that, because I don't think we would be as good as we were had they remembered that. Because it used to happen all the time, but I took it very personally, took it to heart, like holy shit, I might have just ruined the whole party because I was on the stage. Like, you're fucking tripping dicks, man. Go to bed.
Yeah, that's it.
So fucking. That's
all you needed. Someone to go like, no, look, like, we'll make the bed for you.
I'm pretty sure Begsy did not long after that. Like I remember Angel walking up to me, like I went down and we had our New Year's kiss as the projection was on the trees. I remember it very vividly. It's one of my favourite memories. And then I remember Zach coming up to me just being like, fuck bro, what have you done? You're so cooked. And this is at the height of my psychedelic days. They stopped pretty quickly after that.
I'm not surprised. Like, you teleported on stage. Dude,
it was a time, bro. It was a time. That was pre-COVID, man. That was when drugs were good. Yeah. Fuck all this noise now.
But yes, what happened after that? So it's your precursor to Jeremy, and then like that's how you met.
So like precursor to Jeremy, but leading this, like tying this kind of back in. We, you know, been doing it for 6 months. I took a 6-month break. Zach started playing shows. We were like, shout out to my boy Jeremy. This is we're about to talk about Jeremy and the BEP days. We kind of cohesively came together. Zach and Jamie at the time were like, we want to fucking do this. Like, we want to throw parties and stuff. And I was a little bit apprehensive. I didn't know what to do. I was still a fucking, you know, wide-eyed child. But we decided to do it. We're like, fuck, you know, I reckon we can do this.
Yeah.
So we threw a fucking motley party. My nan lent me $400 to buy some fucking like PA speakers. It was like $400, bro. I was a starving fucking uni student at the time.
You get like one good speaker. I bought these
Vonics. I actually got
Vonics?
I found a hell good deal.
That brand before.
So I bought these Vonics.
That's VONNIX.
Yeah,
right?
Vonics.
Yeah, Google it. You check them out. Like.
It might be VONYX or some shit like that. But I bought these. It was a PA system with an 18-inch 6-band EQ, fucking subwoofer, and two 15-inch tops. So I had a fucking wicked deal on it.
$400 for that?
$400, I mean, to be fair, it was fucking like 6 or 7 years ago now, so you know, inflation. But I got a wicked deal off it.
That's crazy. Say that again. So you got two 15s and an 18-inch sub.
Yeah. So it was two 15. I
mean, they wouldn't have gone very loud, right?
They went loud.
$400. That's a bargain.
That's what I mean. So with my, you know, knowledge, I did a little bit of rewiring on the back of them and kind of toasted them a little bit.
What, you rewired the amp?
No, I wouldn't say rewired it, but I put some wires where some wires weren't meant to go, and it made it louder, but it didn't make it better.
You just overpowered it.
Yeah,
positive goes to positive, right? Let's just add another cable there.
Let's just see how this shit goes. It might be funny.
Oh my god! So are they still around? And you fully?
I still got them. I hold like all of this shit, bro. I keep it just because like memories,
it's memories. Well, I mean, look at those two. Those are my first PA speakers. Like,
bingo. Like, one day I might fucking pull the drivers out and put some new ones in there and give them to my kids if I ever have any. So
and be like, by the way, I rewired this.
Loud doesn't equal better. Right? But at that time, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna go so loud.
You're gonna go so loud, and then you're like, oh wait, it's shaping.
And Zach's saying here and Jamie's JBL. So I bought this like PA kit, and Jamie had some JBL speakers, and we made this fucking pallet stage. We got like. Zach hunted on the fucking internet. We got this like old school fucking, you know, like the playground shade sails.
Oh yeah.
So we got one of those, and I stole two of my fucking. I was working as a tiler at the time. Fuck those days. And I stole two massive tarps from my boss.
Shout out to Adrian as well, while he's just tuned in.
Shout out to my boy Ados, yo. So one of my new homies. Shout out to Ados. I fucking love you, bro. Mad love, mad respect.
But go on. So yeah.
So I stole these we tried to get as much fucking like coverage as possible, and I was the little monkey boy. So I fucking we threw it in the Yanchep Pines, right? So fucking
in the Yanchep Pines.
We're dotting around a bit here, but so we threw a series of Pines parties, and like our first ever party that we threw was called Chum and Stomp. We did it in the Yanchep Pines, and it was a $5 party. Right, and a bunch of our older mates who took us out doofing were like, "Fuck you, we're not paying you $5," and it just became this massive fucking shit show. But this was our introduction to throwing and running our own parties, so it was fucking insane. We thought it was amazing. The Ducks Nuts. We had like this fucking bum ass fucking DJM mixer, Jamie's fucking JBL speakers, and my fucking little rig, and we set it up. And there's a very iconic photo of us, again, locked down on my Facebook, but it's me, Jamie, and Zach, and we're standing there getting ready to fucking throw this party. We built this fucking pallet stage, and we built this like little pallet desk to run all the mixing shit on, and it was so fucking wholesome, man. Like,
yeah, that sounds
we were just like wide-eyed little kids watching these. Like, we idolized like Jeremy, fucking John, the Space Boys at the time. Like, we idolized these guys. We thought they were the shit. They were like, they throw these massive fucking parties. Fucking Ollie. Shout out Ollie, love you, my little bro. Tyler's one. Did we have Tyler's ones too? Oh shit, yeah, we did too. We had so there was six. So there was one sub and like 6 fucking tops, and we just turned everything as loud as it would go
in the pine forest.
In the pines behind fucking.
That would have been nuts.
Yeah, bro.
It was PA speakers.
It was crazy, bro. We thought, like, that's what I mean. We thought we were fucking insane. We thought we were doing
just one sub,
one lonely sub. It was. I think originally, so we had 4 on the top, and then we chucked 2 of they were like fold-back speakers, and we chucked them on the ground to kind of just beef it up a little bit to feel like there was some bass coming through. There's fucking no bass at all. And yeah, so like that was the first time. So fucking my first ever DJ name back in the day was Chunk the Funk Up. fucking cringe. So me, Zach, Jamie,
Nice.
it was so bad, bro. It was so bad. I remember sitting in my room in our old Yanship house with Angel, trying to fucking get her to like do me up a logo. Like, oh, dude, it was so cringe. So cringe. Chunk the Funk Up. So that was my first ever DJ name, and we decided to throw this fucking party and have a good mix session. And we got a bunch of our mates to come on and play. There was nobody big, like big now, but it was me, Zach, and Jamie just trying to do what we saw our fucking idols doing, you know, like
recreate it. Yeah, that's amazing. That's good to do. Good way to do it.
It was fucking wholesome, bro. Fucking shout out to my boy John T. I fucking miss you, bro. One of my OG Yanship boys. He was also there at our very first party. Very, very long time ago. So
he's over east or something now? Or?
No. He's got some kids now, so he's full dad mode. And went through his own little demon struggles and stuff like that. But I fucking love you, bro. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Big shout out to you then, Johnny. So then,
the moped. Oh Jesus, I almost forgot about that. So the older boys, they bought this fucking moped and it died. So they ratchet strapped it to a tree. And like hoisted it up this tree while everybody's like dancing and shit like that. We've got a fucking after movie somewhere floating around of this, and in the video you see like all of our mates with fucking red beaming eyes, just like jacking this fucking moped up in this tree. Funny full story. We came back a few years later to try and scout that spot out again to see if we could throw another party, and all of the trees had been demolished except for the one with the moped on it. Man, holy shit. Oh my god.
Because that's what happens to the pine forests. They come through completely
that was old pine too. Like we fucking like scouted it off like the old Yanship road and fucking dipped in there. Can't say too much because you never know, we might use it again. But it was old. It was old pines. So we're probably actually pretty lucky they didn't demolish it as we were partying. It was old and fucking fucked. But anyways, we our first like I think 3 or 4 parties were pine parties. All up in Yanship, and we kind of started to make a little name for ourselves as the guys that threw pines parties. We like Zach was obviously playing like bigger bush doof parties, or like bigger at the time. But Jamie and I were still kind of like in our little fucking trying to get in phase kind of stuff like that. And Zach would always put us forward, but you know, promoters, especially in the doof world, if they don't know you, you're not getting booked.
Exactly.
It
happens though. It's just
it happens. Exactly. Like it's all networking. And once we got out, and I actually kind of got out of my comfort zone a little bit and started to chat to people about stuff, and played a couple of half decent sets that I would fucking die if I played now. You know, I kind of started getting bookings, like more bookings, and we threw another one after that.
No shit.
Oh yeah.
That's pallet shit.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro, I fucking spent like half the day building this. I thought I was the fucking. I thought I was
you
Jesus.
In the middle as well?
I was in the middle. Look how fucking skinny and disgusting I look. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
So I had my 2 P8, so that middle sub and the 2 back ones behind me were they were mine, and then the 2 JBLs at the bottom were Jamie's, and then the 2 on the side were Tyler's. So and this is fuck, bro. That makes my heart warm seeing that photo every time, mate.
Oh shit, like, that's a setup.
We were just like little kids, bro.
Yeah, just partying, having a good time.
Partying hard, thinking that we made it. You know,
just throwing some pine fault.
It was like Zach's dad bought out like a little fucking like food van and shit like that. I think I don't know, maybe we might have had like 100 people there, bro. But 100 to us at that time felt like 1,000. Like,
that's it. Yeah,
we thought we were the shit. Yeah. So after that, I think we made a little bit of money, or like kind of broke even-ish kind of thing. And then after that, we threw Interstellar Drift. That was our second Pines party. Now that one was a lot bigger. That one we put a bit of money into. Jamie bought this big white marquee. We made a rave cave. We worked with Jacob Safrax, one of the twins from Space Boys. He kind of came up and mentored us a little bit. Bought his old little green rig, which was like 2 18-inch fucking subs, 2 mid horns, and like 2 top fucking poly horns.
Okay. So a poly horn, for people don't know, that's like the horn that goes...
Yeah, so it's one of those big, spreading horns.
Can we Google those, if that's all right?
It was made out of, fiberglass and poly that they made at home. So again, people that want to do music do shit themselves. It's really DIY. It's one of those... it's probably one of the only last, DIY things that you can make it big off, and relatively, fast and cohesively, if you're good at it. So kind of like that. It was so the middle bit, so that's like a full, so in that you've got a mid, a top, kind of together. That yellow middle bit, that's what he had, and it was about, say, fucking 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters, maybe a little bit bigger, and it was all painted green. It was a big green rig, and that was the first time that we ever had a proper sound system. And then we used all of ours in the white marquee. That was the Rave Cave.
Nice.
So that party did relatively well. I think we might have had 200, 250 people. Fuck, man, it was so hot. I remember, I can't remember exactly what time of year we did it, but I remember when the sun came up the next morning, I remember trying to walk across to my camp from the stage, and all that sand out there, it's all black like construction sand. And I just remember my feet fucking burning.
Yeah, it's black construction
absolutely
sand.
Fucking burnt. So yeah, that was our second party. Did kind of well. That's kind of where, and obviously bringing Jacob in. Jacob was, Dad came out with his mates to help us build it, and he ran the food van. Yeah, so it was a vibe. It was very much community things. Everybody wanted to help. Everybody wanted to be a part of it. It was fucking awesome. Everybody took a job and was like, we're gonna do this.
Well, that's why it should be though. It's everyone helps each other out.
It's fucking wholesome.
Yeah.
I have so many fond memories of that time. Both of our first parties, I think I remember, was maybe 1,500 people. Lots of stuff to remember. It's hard. Yeah, legit. There's so much shit's fucking gone on in between then, Begsy. I'm trying to remember as clearly as I can. I remember the feelings that I have about it, but I don't remember the specifics because, I mean, to be fair, we were pretty fucking cooked at that time ourselves.
Yeah, you gotta be, right?
Yeah, well, that's, I have a problem with people now when they talk about, especially electronic music, that you have to be on drugs to fucking listen to this shit. It's at that time, I probably wouldn't have got as heavy as I did into it had it not been, drugs and party and stuff like that. But at no point in time did I ever sit there and go I need to take drugs to listen to this music. Yeah. I was never one of those things. I was like, if I do this, it'll make it better and I'll be able to listen to it for longer because I don't have to sleep. But
keep you up.
Something that I have a real problem with people, especially when I talk to fucking quote unquote normies about it, people who don't go doofing, they're always like, oh, you fucking crazy druggos. Yeah, if you want to go there and take drugs, you can go there and do that. But I know people that have doofed for 25 years completely fucking sober.
That's it.
It's all about what you make it, and what you put in is what you get out.
Yeah, it's your perception. Yeah,
perception, 100%. Yeah. So it's fucking wholesome, dude. But we threw those fucking two parties. We thought we were the ducks nuts. We thought we were so fucking cool. Obviously, Jacob Safrax coming in to help us kind of gave us a leg up into more doof promoters because he was like, hey, these fucking 18-year-old kids are throwing cool, safe parties.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing about our parties. We always we judged our parties, I judged our parties off by how many chicks were half naked, right? If you've got half naked chicks at your party, that means you're running a cool, good, safe party. Right.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Well, if you get the girls dancing, you get the guys dancing, right?
Yeah,
so that's what I was monitored it off. I was like, if there's a bunch of chicks that are standing there in a group, they don't feel safe, they're fucking being mooched on. We made a big thing to stamp that out as quickly as possible. Even at 18-year-old, 19, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, it was a big thing of if the chicks feel safe at our parties, we will have good parties. More guys will come because if you get the girls to come, the guys will come, etc., etc. And it all snowballs from that.
Girls should always feel safe. Whatever event they go to.
I don't think there's many people that know me, Zach or Jamie, and wouldn't say that if they came to us with a problem, we didn't try and handle it then and there. And
that's good.
Sometimes to our own detriment. There's a few things that happened with. There's me.
Is that you there?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's like a fucking photo album.
So
holy shit! Is that?
That's a fire-breathing dragon.
I've never seen you in a. It's not a polo shirt, but a striped shirt.
That's my flannel, bro. Anybody who saw me doofing from fucking 2018 to 2020, that was what I wore. I was the flannel with my thongs.
Fuck yeah.
That was my vibe. So this party. So this is the first big party that we were ever involved in. This was. fuck, the name escapes me.
But that was a vibrant.
Hold on. Rave Renaissance. Sorry. Rave Renaissance. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I almost forgot that. A guy called Eric. So Eric he was a cool dude, man. I love Eric, man. He was a cool guy. We got a little bit fucked over from this party, just like money and stuff, but who fucking cares? We don't do it because of money. Yeah. Eric and us, we kind of joined forces on this, and it was our first introduction to big party. This is the first party that we ever hired Serenity for. So the first party that we ever did our own stage for.
So what is Serenity for people that don't know?
Serenity, for people that don't know, is by far the best sound system probably in the Southern Hemisphere, bar the PK sound that they've got coming out of the eastern states now. Yeah. Shout outs to Jeremy Osborne again, completely self-taught, built that rig with his fucking 2 hands, with I think the first couple of boxes that he built, he made a table saw out of his bedroom door. Complete, absolute mad scientist when it comes to sound.
Have you guys managed to find them at all? Because it's the red and black one, isn't it?
No, black and pink.
Black and pink.
Black and pink. So if you go onto my Instagram, if you go onto basically Leighton Instagram, self-plug.
Self-plug as you get interviewed. All right, so yeah.
Basically, so BASS.
No,
so basic like my DJ name. ICK. LY. So ICK. Yeah. There you go. Basically Leighton. So if you scroll down a little bit, this is fucking see me fucking being weird. Keep going. So that one right there, go up. Yeah, that pink rig right there. So
holy shit.
That is Serenity in almost all of her glory. This is RAINDANCE last year. And I was very lucky enough to be honoured the privilege to do the acknowledgement of country with my brother Kookaburra. Shout out Kookaburra, one of the craziest ditch players I've ever met in my life.
That's cool.
But so this is Serenity. At the time of that party, they were running different tops. They were running like folded horns, so they were like a 3-piece horn set that Jez had for a few years. Cool bit of information, those are the old AC/DC touring tops. AC/DC touring tops, yeah.
Really? So the actual AC/DC band used those speakers?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
If my information is incorrect, please correct me. Anybody,
Zach.
But that's what I remember.
Zach, you there?
So yeah, like that whole sound system probably ate like 4 years of my life. Like I love that thing. Obviously not as much as Jeremy, but I was very lucky to help him piece together the last couple of bits. I think we did the last 4 subs.
4 years of your life. So what do you mean? Like, so what?
I fucking delved deep into Serenity and trying to help. I wanted to be what Jeremy was to the doof scene in my own era. Jez was like the godfather of safe, sustainable, cool. Sustainable, cool parties. He was a magnate for people. He was very. He was a guiding light for a lot of people. Doofing can sometimes lose its kind of stray, and people go into different realms of it. But Jeremy was always that person. Like, no, this is what we do. We are a community. We love dirty fucking psytrance, we love dirty prog, we love hard drum and bass, and we want to listen to it through a fucking insane sound system. So that thing there will go louder than a Boeing 747 taking off. Like that's
what I can't believe. It's like that thing is loud from what I've been told and what you've told me, what I've heard around the scene as well. So that thing is stupid.
The loudest I ever heard it and experienced it was, I think it was 2020 or 2021.
Yeah,
we had Jilax over, so it was the first gig on this property. Shout out Amon, shout out Sarah. I love you, Sarah. That woman changed my life. And it was a moonbase party, so shout out Brahm as well. We used to run moonbase.
Moonbase. So when was
moonbase was like hometree adjacent. So a lot of the moonbase guys were in hometree, and a lot of hometree guys were in moonbase. It was they all lived in the same house, in the hometree house, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was the first gig on this property was Odyssey.
Yeah.
And he brought Gilax over. So anybody who doesn't know Gilax, or Gilax as people call him, he's probably one of the biggest like psytrance, psyprog guys in the world.
Yeah, okay.
Coming out of Switzerland, I believe.
Absolutely. Brought him over here.
Yeah, bro. Absolute sweetheart, absolute gentleman of a guy. I was lucky enough to feed him some fucking crackers at my camp after his set. I had my DJ pass on, and he was like, "I'm so hungry," and I was like, "Oh, dude, come back to my camp. Like, I'll sort you out all this shit." So took him back to. No, I had a. So I was in my 4B at the time, and I had a whole fridge full of shit, and there was some crackers that were the same as in Switzerland. So he was like, "Oh fuck, I know what those taste like, so I'm gonna eat those." Yeah. But getting off topic, I got him to sign on my shit too. It was fucking amazing. Yeah. Getting off topic, but. Yeah, so Jeremy decided, I think, to take some limiters off for Gilax's set, and it was, I remember walking in front of it trying to pass him one of the speak-on cables for the tops, and I remember I was standing in front of it, Gilax pressed play, and I remember the first bass drop like physically sucking the air out of my lungs. I remember walking away from it, like anybody who's skydived will have that similar experience of when they depressurize the cabin and it just sucks out all the air. That's exactly what I experienced. And
from being in front of that thing.
Yeah, bro. So what a lot of people don't understand is when speakers are coupled like that is now one speaker.
That's it. Yeah,
so it's not like a bunch of individual ones. When you couple them not in a node and they're all pushed up together into one, that basically makes it one massive speaker. So they all run in unison, they all push, they all pull in unison. And when you're running, fucking 15 tapped horns, man, that's a lot of displacement. It's a lot of air displacement. It's insane. That thing very regularly runs at like 130.
Yeah, that's what Ewan told me. It's like sometimes he won't even run it with all the speakers. He'll have all the speakers there, but won't run it with all the speakers.
You can have sympathetic resonance. So if you have a speaker that's plugged in next to another speaker but not actively putting out sound, that speaker the drum in it will kind of put out a frequency or a sound because it's next to them and powered, but you're not sending signal to it. So that's a good way to give perceived space, perceived space or perceived sound. And obviously sound systems are visual too. Like you can have Pavlos, shout out to my boy Pavlos, for example. Pav runs some absolutely insane Danley subs and some Danley tops, and his fucking 4-piece sound system will do half of what Serenity will do at a quarter of the speakers or a quarter of the power usage, so size isn't everything when it comes to sound systems, but when you're running cool festivals, fucking massive festivals, people want the visual of it as well, so
what fire-breathing dragons
fire-breathing dragons and shit, dude, like that.
So go back to that photo again. So wait, did it breathe fire though?
It didn't breathe fire, but it breathed smoke.
It breathed smoke then. All right. That's still something though. Because that's what I was thinking, like that's a forest and it's gonna breathe fire.
No. So it breathed out smoke. So Eric, shout out to Eric again. He built this with, I think, help from Alice. Yeah, Alice that came to the party. Yeah. So they were, I think, seeing each other or something at the time, and she helped him like paper mache this fucking insane dragon. And
that's cool. Shout out to Alice.
Yeah, shout out to Alice. Yeah. I've known Alice for a few years now. She's a fucking cool chick, man.
Yeah, I actually messaged her today. I was like, thank you so much for coming to the party.
Oh yeah,
awesome. Yeah, because I didn't get to message her after the party, but she was cool to hang out with.
Alice is fucking good value.
But so what happened after that though?
So what happened after this party, or what happened
after that party and after Serenity?
So Serenity's a little bit further down in the story. I know we keep jumping backwards and forwards, but Serenity's a little bit further down in the story after this. So there's little black-footed me. Shout out Seaton. This is the first time that I ever met Seaton. If you guys don't know him, Orion AV, absolute gun.
I actually interviewed him maybe like 4 or 5, 6, 7.
Actually, I think I remember seeing that coming up.
Cool guy, really cool.
I got a lot of time for Seaton. I love that dude, man. He helped us out. We helped him out. He was our lighting guy for a number of years.
He knows what he's doing. He really knows what he's doing.
Hurry up and get your radiation license so you can do fucking real festivals, Seaton. Love you.
There you go. If you're watching scene, there you go. Get into the festivals.
You got to have a radiation license for those lasers because they're so high powered and all that jazz. But yeah, so after this party, this was probably our first big one. Beggs, you'll have to fact check me on this, but I think we had about 500-600 people at this party. Like,
damn,
it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
For that time in our career, being our third or fourth party, that was big. So this one really put us on the map with other doof promoters.
Yeah.
We played. I used to play a lot of like tech house at this time.
Okay.
I've kind of gone through phases.
You played tech house?
I still buzz a bit of tech house every now and then. I play whatever people want to book me for. You know, like I've kind of been boxed in the last few years as like the prog guy, which I loved. Like it was amazing. There's we'll have to see. Zach, try and find that video of me and you at Easter that time. That set that put us on the map. He'll know what I'm talking about. Send it to the boys so we can show everybody. That was fucking insane. That set put us. That shot us into the stratosphere.
Okay.
So yeah, we had this party. It was insane. We ran. It was like barbarians versus fucking like Renaissance, or like OG versus old school versus new school kind of thing. So we had like some vinyl DJs on at the start. I think like NVS came on. Like old Ray played some good shit. Sent some pics to Jamie, shout out. Jamie's got some good ones.
Okay. Messages? Have you guys? Yeah, sweet, you guys are onto it. That's awesome.
Yeah, shout out Becca. I love you, sister.
Yeah, Becca. I have to say, big shout out Becca, having her on the podcast.
Oh, she's insane, cool. Bro. The Perth Princess of Prog. She owns it. She wears it well. You know,
so
like,
cool. Talking to her about all of that stuff. Like.
She's always been one to push us, and like to push me and Beggsy specifically. Like she was always very vocal about like how she loved our music and loved what we were doing, and we kind of all came up at the same time. Becca's been doing it a lot longer than we have, and knew a lot of guys, but we kind of started at the same time, and she pushed us, we pushed her. Like if we had parties, we'd put her on at awesome times. At her parties, she would put us on at awesome times. Yeah, see, Josh knows the Downlies go hard.
Yeah, calm down, ladies. What's that for, Mitch? I think, because, their Soon system, or whatever.
Shout out to your Soon system, but I've experienced some fucking crazy sound systems in my day, boys. If you want any knowledge, hit me up. I got some shit I can give you.
Well, that's it. Like, you compare it to the Serenity, and like that thing is an absolute
the only
beast.
person, like, even the function ones, bro. Like, I've had a lot of experience with both functions. There's me. That was my first ever. That was my first ever New Year's set. So New Year's, like Hometree New Year's, if you wanted to make it as a doof DJ, that was what you strove for. You wanted to be playing on that sound system on that day. I
can imagine it just sounds so cool. You just stand there, just thump.
Oh, dude, it's fucking insane. Like, especially too, like Jeremy and I became very close, and he knew that when I was about to jump on, he'd fucking turn the rig up a little bit. Like give me a little bit of extra fucking low end.
Oh, very nice.
So yeah, I played. This was actually a really big set for me too. I played like a daytime UKG / like bounce house set, and it shot me up, man. I was relatively unknown before this set. Like people knew, like my core people knew who I was and shit like that. But this kind of chucked me on the map to people who hadn't heard me before. And this set is actually still up on my BassicK SoundCloud if anybody wants to listen to it. I think it's the 2020-2021 New Year's bounce house day set, and it was fucking cool. It was a clean mix. It was my first time ever trying to like scratch live and shit like that. So there's some fucking bits in there, but.
Well, see if you guys can find on the SoundCloud, post in the comment section.
Oh God, look at that!
Oh, we got a few photos to go there.
So who's in this photo? So we've got Jamie on the left. We've got my little fucking malnourished ass in the middle. DK, shout out to my brother, fucking DK, the one, the only. DK was a god, still is a god. He played the first ever like 3-hour journey set that I ever experienced. DK was very well known for. He was kind of that guy that would be like, oh, nobody else is going to play. All right, DK's going to play for 5 hours.
Jump on one.
And he'd just jump on and keep playing. But people weren't angry at it either. Like DK would string together 5 hours worth of music and make it all cohesive.
But then, what's a journey set? So that's like it just takes you on a journey.
So typical sets, obviously, everybody listening to this knows. A typical set is an hour and a half if you're cool.
Yeah.
A journey set is typically somebody. So like say it's a big name, they'll book them for 2-3 hours. And that today is considered a journey set in Perth at least. Like places like fucking France and and all over the other places in the world, a journey set is like 6 to 8 hours for them, which is just ridiculous. But so yeah, this was one of our gigs on a property that our mate Tom Dwyer, shout out Tom, one of our older mates, used to own up in like Gabadar, I think it was, up near Jamie. Jamie's the one sitting on the left. So we threw that party. That was Adrian. Shout out Adrian, not Thompson, but Adrian Zalovic. Okay. He built this rig. So these are some Danley TH118 clones.
Is that what you guys are sitting on?
That's what we're sitting on. Yeah. So this is
speakers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So another one of our mates, Farm Boy. Shout out Farm Boy. He owns this rig now.
But name that is Farm Boy.
Yeah, Farm Boy. Yeah, Farm Boy. He's mean. Farm Boy's mean. He plays some mean tunes. Writes a lot of mean music too. Shout out Farm Boy.
Yeah.
But so Adrian Zalovic, he built this rig by himself. Was very meticulous about it. He read the specs, got it all CNC cut. It was a fucking luscious little rig, man. This thing pumped.
Yeah.
And we use this at most of our like smaller Pines parties for maybe 2 or 3 years. And then Adrian wanted to get out of the game, so he ended up selling it to Farm Boy.
Yep.
And now he still has them, yeah.
Yeah, nice, okay.
It's a fucking nice little tidy little rig, that thing. I loved it.
What other photos we got? Look how malnourished you are.
That's an iconic photo, actually, of Jeremy and I. So this is Toontown. This is probably the last big successful BEP party. Sadly, Jamie, Zach, myself and I had a bit of a falling out probably about a year before this. So Jamie wasn't with us during these parties. Which I'm quite regretful of now. It was, young kids, again, ego gets involved. We were getting bigger. We thought, fucking just infighting and bullshit and stuff that doesn't matter at all today mattered a lot to us at that point. And so sadly, Jamie wasn't with us for these parties, but this was Zach and I. And this is, me playing a fucking 2.5 hour house / drum and bass set in the middle of the day, fucking like 2 hours north of Perth, on this guy. His name's Trev. Shout out Trev. Not that he'll ever watch this because he's like hardcore fucking conspiracies. Doesn't have any socials or anything like that. But we threw a party up on his property, and this went off. This was the first party that we ever made actual money off, and we're able to put that again back into our gigs. So shout out to my boy Jez. We might not be taking photos like this together anymore, but it was a fucking good time, man. I got really good memories.
No, very nice. And so what else we got? Oh.
Intergalactic Grove. All right. So, now we start getting into it.
Southwest WA.
Southwest WA.
I mean, we've only got like 15 minutes left, but keep going. So
Intergalactic Grove. So this is Zach and I's birthday. In collaboration with Moonbase. We did this with Moonbase as well. This was another big party. This was fucking huge. This is our first one. Zach, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was probably like fucking 500 people, 400 people, something like that, which is good. Our parties were consistently like upper 300s, lower 600s, which was really good numbers at that time.
That's really good numbers.
And it was consistent. People knew when we were throwing a party, it was a fucking good, safe party.
Yeah.
If you flick over to the next one, you'll see that was we got some really cool artwork done. So shout out Kyle Ferret. He used to be our stage guy, do all of our art for our stages. You can catch me up in the left hand corner there. That's me up on the speakers. And then that's a bunch of our core crew, everybody who kind of helped make our doofs what they were. You got Jeremy on the right of the stack there. These are the very, very iconic V-stack Serenities. So these were very well known in our parties for just obliterating people. It was very loud. It made a very direct, focused kind of I say direct and focused, but the throw was really long, and it would have a really cool like intersection point because you've got them stacked in V's opposing each other.
Yeah.
So
okay.
if you stood in the middle of that, you just get melted, man. It was fucking awesome.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, it was really, really, really cool.
Sorry, but that sounds amazing. Just melt because you're just like in between of that freak, like the cross.
It was fucking cool, dude. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Jamie who sent all these photos.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Jamie Egerton. He knows what's up.
That's so good. He's still got all these photos.
We
blast
fucking
from the past.
Blast from the past. All right, but all right. So fuck what? We've only got like 15 minutes left. All right, I'll try and run through some shit.
Yeah.
You got some videos? Oh yeah. Fucking chuck them up, man.
So I think this was the after movie you guys were talking about.
Will we get copyright for the song? Do you know?
Probably not.
No, probably not. Play it. Crank it.
Oh, yeah, for that one you probably will. So this is the after movie of Rave Renaissance. Shout out to Kyle, he did this. Rave Renaissance 2020. Fuck, that feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
That was a really cool party that shot us up, and I've got really good memories of it. Shout out Matty Voss. Who was on the fucking 125 there, or the little 110, sorry. He runs Archaic Gathering over in Arley Beach now, Beach, where I go over and play there with the boys sometimes. Shout out to them boys.
Yeah, hey? I had those guys on here as well. Yeah, good dudes. Yeah.
Shout out Matty Boss. I've known that kid for fucking too long.
Yeah. And then any other videos as well?
All right, so this is the set that put me and Zach on the map, boys. So this was 2019, 2020, or maybe 21.
Okay.
So somebody I think might have dropped out for their 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, or maybe we got put on for a back-to-back. I can't remember exactly. But we were kind of new to the party prog realm. People knew that we played good party prog, but they didn't know Zach's playing here. I think I'm playing next. They didn't know that we could throw down some fucking vicious party prog. Again, this set is up on my SoundCloud, my basic SoundCloud, and it was just insane. The energy was insane. We couldn't press the wrong button. Everything just went perfectly. The transitions were insane. Our fucking crowd reading was insane. Zach's fucking drops were insane. That set really pushed us onto the party prog scene.
Where do you guys go?
Yeah, man, that was a fucking good party. Shout out Tyron, shout out Hometree.
That's a lot of people as well. Man.
That was, I think everybody had come from Blaze. So a lot of the Blaze crew came because there was no prog out at Blaze, and they wanted to listen to fucking furious party prog, dirty party prog. So we kind of became the party prog guys. Another full story moment. We never got as big as Dank Stank, but we kind of took their slot when they stopped. It was either Zach and I or Zach and me together playing most of the 10 to 1 o'clock slots for maybe 2 years. And we built a little bit of a cult following, not to toot our own horns. Everybody who's been to a bush doof in Perth in the last 4 years has definitely seen us and heard us play some fucking absolutely blistering music.
That's so cool. And the thing is just about that, it's you're not using CDJs, you're using
Fuck CDJs.
And you're using virtual DJs.
Zach played on VDJ for so long, and I used to give him so much shit for it because I'm an avid Tractor boy. Shout out Tractor. Fucking sponsor me, Tractor, please.
Yeah, if only. I wish I could get sponsored by them as well.
Oh, dude. CDJs, look, I got no problem. I know what they do. I know how to use them. I get that they're industry standard and shit like that, but I don't like the user interface of CDJs at all. Never. If you're an aspiring DJ and you're listening to this, never ever think that you have to be a CDJ DJ to make it something. I've gone into Metro City with a fully sold out show and whipped out my controller. I don't give a fuck.
That's it, right? Big shout out to everyone still watching.
Yeah, shout out.
Ollie's cunt, where can I get this photo?
look on you.
Rewatch it again and screenshot it.
I was tiny, bro. Yeah, so Ollie is Zach's little brother, my little brother. Shout out Kayla. Fucking love you, Kayla. Ollie is Zach's little brother. My not blood little brother, but I've known that kid since he was basically fucking out of nappies. 9-10-year-old kid. I love you, Ollie. I got so much love for you, bro. Stay on the right path. Be good.
Yeah, there you go.
Or be good at it.
That's good. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. So then, what happened after all this? So how have you gotten to where you are now? Because we're missing so much.
There's a whole bunch.
You and Zach have to come on, and we just have to do a 2-hour special.
To kind of compile it all, I got in good with Jeremy. Jeremy supported me and my DJ career and gave me some very big support slots, which then progressed me into being able to play in front of more people. John as well, fucking shout out Pulp Glitchin. John gave me probably the biggest support slots. I had the pleasure to close out for Neelix, who's the biggest psytrance guy in the world. Akov, fucking who else? Father Funk, DJ Craze. I've been able to support some just absolutely out there artists. shout out to my boy Josh Betts again for the traumatic plug up. Shout out Marcus, shout out Brett if you guys are watching, which I definitely know you're not, which is Mr. Traumatic and his DJ Frenzy, who I've become pretty good mates with over the course of these last like year or so, being able to play both their shows.
Yeah, because didn't you say that at the beginning, like before we went live? So it's like you got to go see Traumatic at like one of your videos.
Yeah, so I went to an under 18s Mr. Traumatic show. I think DJ Gov, Mr. Traumatic, and HeadX before he got big, with Zach and a bunch of my other Yanchip mates, and just that was my first introduction to drum and bass. It absolutely changed my life, put me on the trajectory that I've got on today, and I was very, very, very lucky. Thank you, Josh, for being able to support him twice. At both the Metro show and the Loop show in Joondalup, and you know, have got to have a little bit of a like personal relationship with them. It's really cool. It's, you know, a lot of people say don't meet your idols and stuff like that, but all of the idols that I've met in music have been absolutely awesome guys. Bar Mandragora. Mandragora, fucking, I don't know, man. Didn't like him. Wasn't a good guy. Played a complete. Believe me, I have a video of him playing a pre-recorded set to a fully sold out show with one fader up and playing fucking online chess while he's meant to be mixing. Like,
so, interesting.
Yeah. I'll throw that bomb because I've got the receipts to prove it.
Yeah, you got the receipts to prove it. You filmed him playing online.
Dude, I'm up in the balcony of air, just like with my jaw to the floor. Because anybody who's into prog or into psytrance, everybody knows Mandragora. Mandragora was somebody that you came up with. You know, like it was very much like a Skrillex of psytrance. So I fucking watched this guy who I really liked. Absolutely, like, he played a cool set. Yeah, it was pre-recorded, and I get when you're on tour, you don't want to play the same shit all the time. But if you're getting paid $10,000 a show, you should be fucking playing some music, not a fucking pre-recorded set.
Not playing online chess.
Yeah, so fucking, you know, Josh gets it.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, fucking to pedal on again. Like I said, some of my biggest sets I got to play were like the Neelix show, the Mr. Traumatic show, the last two rain dances. This year I got to close out the main stage, which was huge and kind of really push forward my late night project, something that I haven't really touched on a lot in this interview, but I'll touch on it more when Alex gets me back on.
Yeah, you come back on.
I got a late night project which is like all neuro bassy kind of stuff. If anybody knows E-Putty, again, E-Putty plug, it's very kind of similar to what he kind of does. He's a little bit more avant-garde than myself. I'm a dirty fucking bass rat.
Can you pull up? That's your Instagram, right? So late night.
Yeah, so I got Late Night, which is like my main Instagram at the moment. My basic one is kind of like my personal Instagram, but you know, if you just want to follow me, then fucking by all means, please do. I post some weird shit.
Yeah, because I made that mistake before. Yeah, there we go. Yes, this is your main one.
Yeah, so this is my main one that I'm running at the moment. So I do like hip hop infused freeform neuro bass, breaks, dubstep, halftime, and drum and bass, all of that kind of stuff. This is more of like the shit that I'm producing. Yep. I was very, very, very lucky to be offered a set in Cairns earlier on in the year. Shout out to the Berlin Calling guys. They if you go down to that one in the left with the Late Night, yeah. So that's my little after movie that I got made, which is pretty cool. It was really, really fun. I got to go to...
that is cool, yeah.
I got to go over there and just play an absolutely amazing set to a bunch of people who had never really heard that type of music, so it fucking went off.
But that's it, because it's just from WA.
Well, I was playing like really heavy, like Shambhala dubstep kind of stuff, like that's still kind of hitting our shores here, and to go and play it over there to... predominantly techno people, I really didn't think it was going to go well, but I went, you know what, fuck it. I never ever, shout out to Cahill Films, I never ever go into a set caring what the last guy played before me or caring what the next guy plays after me. I play my set because it's my set. So I was like, fuck, if these guys want to listen to dubstep, I'll play some fucking dubstep. And it was like 45 degrees and like ridiculously humid, and to have that many people dancing, even though it doesn't seem like a lot, for that heat, it was fucking insane. Fucking insane.
Very nice. So what's the other? So that's your main one, right?
So yeah. So BassicK. Everybody knows me as BassicK. BassicK is what I built my brand off, like really cheesy bootlegs.
Yeah.
So I was known as the guy that played the really. My outlook on electronic music was always, I want to give people music that they have an emotional attachment to already. So like big sing-alongs, radio music that's got our bass music twist. We're very lucky here in Perth that we have a very kind of niche, specific kind of bass music that we like. We're the Southern Hemisphere mecca for drum and bass. Yeah. We like weird, wonky shit, and I always tried to make it like my goal to give people that emotional attachment as well as a fucking fat bass line under it. So this is my basic profile. This is one that I use for ages.
What does that say? AG New Emergency Response.
Agnew, so yeah. So
that's the name of the company, right?
No, so shout out Goldfields. I work for Goldfields, which is a gold mining, like a multinational gold mining company. I'm an Enviro on Agnew. Shout out to all my Agnew crew if you're watching this.
So that's the mine site.
So that's the mine site, yeah. So and then I do like ERT response there as well, which is like emergency response.
Yeah, it's what I do. So yeah, because when I was looking at it, I was like Agnew. What?
Yeah, it's called Agnew Gold Mine, one of the oldest gold mines in the country. Believe it or not, it's fucking ancient, that place. And I'm very, very lucky. I love my Agnew crew. They've opened me. Welcomed me with open arms, and we all get along really well. Yeah. Here's for hoping we get a Christmas bonus crew. Fuck yeah.
Hopefully.
Shout out to the processing boys.
It's like what everyone wants. We all want Christmas bonuses. So then we've got this. So then you've got your SoundCloud. Anything else we can plug? And also, when are you playing? When's your next event?
I haven't got many bookings for the last little arse end of the year, to be honest.
That's all right.
I was meant to be in Melbourne this week, but I've had a bunch of like family stuff, and I had a pretty hectic week at work last week. So I was meant to go over and play a show in Melbourne with the Sickest House crew, E-Putty and Elucid. So I was meant to go over there with those guys. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it just to my own home commitments. But
life gets in the way. Yeah.
Life gets in the way as it does. But yeah, I haven't actually got many bookings for the last tail end of the year. So if anybody fucking wants to book me, by all means, fucking chuck it on. Hit me up. But I've got a couple of big ones coming up next year. So,
yeah, sweet.
My next.
I'll get you guys on in the first 3 months.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Will that be like before those big events?
Yes. So most of May. So you and I might be going to America, hopefully, in like May, Marchish, I think.
Yeah, so get you guys on a march. We'll promote the fuck out of it.
Something like that. Maybe. Shit! Keep knocking this microphone. Maybe. Like February wise, we've got some big ones coming up. February. So from February to say like August, I've got some fucking good shit.
Okay. So maybe I'll try and get you. I'll message you. We'll tee it up. And see what I got. Definitely get Zach on because I've been trying to get Zach on, and now I got you on, and I realised that you guys are buddies. Yeah, like, Zach, you coming on?
He's been my best mate for fucking 10 on years. Like,
there you go.
We've done anything that I've done, he's done, and we've done it together. Obviously, like I said before, egos and stuff get in the way, and I had a few years where I was very egotistical and made some bad decisions, and it ruined a big relationship that I had to a woman that I loved, and ruined relationships with my mum, and rest in peace. My mum passed away late last year, like almost coming up on a year on the 15th of November. So that really kind of shifted my views on a lot of stuff, on how I treat people and treat relationships and stuff like that. And obviously breaking up with Angel like really kind of changed me as well. I thought that I was invincible, and I thought that I could never fuck up and all that stuff, and then all it takes is one or two big things that you can't come back from, and I did those one or two big things, and I didn't come back from it for a long time. So
we all make mistakes though. That's the thing.
You gotta live with your demons and live with your choices, man. Nobody's responsible for your bullshit but you. So never be the victim in your own story is a big one that I always try and tell myself. I've done some shitty things, made some shitty choices, but I live with it. I wear it. I don't let it fucking define me, but like you said, learn from your mistakes, learn from your bullshit. Don't fucking repeat the past, otherwise there's no point in doing it.
What a way to put it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Man, my pleasure. It was
this would be a good episode. I told you. This would be fucking sick, right? Thank you guys so much for looking things up.
Plenty more to chat about. That's like the first quarter of
I feel like we've just like cracked the surface, basically. It's like 15-20%.
There's still some like big evos in there, a lot of Serenity stuff that I didn't get to chat about, like a lot of my own stuff, bullshit that I didn't get to chat about, but like this is a good introduction to me to a lot of people who might not know me, but fucking thanks guys.
Cheers for watching, cheers for the comments. Do we have any more comments as well that we can respond to? Let's have a look. It honestly means so much that people comment. I have to say, like, thank you so much for being part of this.
Yeah, fucking
Look at the ball.
Rinse me, boy, rinse me.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Got a gig
for you in April. Yeah, so Josh is always coming through the goods, boy.
There you go.
That closing rain dance set was sick. I judge my late night shit off Ewan. If Ewan says it's good, I must be doing good, because it's a very similar kind of wave that I'm trying to catch with him. You know, like I look up to my boy E-Putty so much. He's taught me so much. Mad respect. I hope he's doing well in Melbourne. I fucking miss you, and I'm really fucking pissed off that I'm not there right now. So please forgive me if I'm not looking at your stories. Just I don't want to see it because I'll cry.
I think it's just a lot of just walking around the CBD.
Oh, but dude, that's what I want him to do. I fucking love walking around. I just love being with Ewan, man. The shit that he comes out with is amazing. It's always something new. It's always something special.
Yeah, there you go.
You host a sick podcast, bro. There you go, Josh.
Yeah. Cheers, Josh. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Like, this has been a lot of fun. So next week we have. Let's have a look. And also, I have something very exciting to announce at the end of this very soon. So, wait, what's the date today? It's November, isn't it?
7th.
Shit, we don't have anyone booked for next week yet. But we're booked up until January. I'll slot someone in. It's all right. We'll sort it out. It's all good. Exciting news. So, time to do the announcement in a way. We are, as the Infra-Red podcast, for whoever's watching, right, we are taking over this place called Beaumont on the Point Bar and Grill. We are taking on every single Sunday. And what we are doing is we are creating a space for musos, by musos, to come and hang out with musos, basically. We are rotating through crews. So what will happen is if anyone's interested that actually has a crew, hit me up. Because I'm trying to compile a list and a roster together, where what we'll do is we'll actually have different events. So it's like a takeover thing. So soon we'll come in and soon a group will come in and do a takeover. Bioma will come do a takeover. Restless, Deviants, all these different groups, right? Any genre. The name is Sunsets on the Swan, so it has to fit this niche idea of being a chill, relaxed spot where we can just hang out, have a beer, and catch up.
Now all the jump up DJs fucking coming, but let me play fucking 180 BPM jump up to all the fucking posh people.
Yeah, but please, just liquid. That's all I want, right? But it's very exciting. It might start next week Sunday. I'm sealing the deal tomorrow. It's already happening. I'm just negotiating and trying to make sure that I can get the DJs paid as well. So it's everyone knows how it is running events and how everyone runs at a loss and this and that. But that's the number one thing I'm pushing for, is that make sure that whoever's playing gets paid. Basically, every event, right? The crew will come in, do a takeover, provide 5 DJs. We do interviews just like the podcast, and we just hang out and have a good time. So the event will be up on our Facebook page, and we'll be sharing it through all these other different groups as well, as they create their own event as the takeover to come alongside, to work alongside with everything, right? But it's very exciting, and yeah, can't wait to see what the future holds. So
I'm keen, man. It'll be fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really cool.
It's gonna be interesting because it's musos by musos for musos.
Everybody come and listen to us play really whack wonky bass music.
That's
really
exactly it. That's the plan. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. But cheers so much for coming on, Leighton.
My pleasure, man.
This has been good.
I hope you all enjoyed it, listening to me waffle on about fucking nonsense. But it was a vibe. I got plenty more to share.
Yeah, so many stories, so many cool things. It's awesome. It's really
cheers for having me, man.
All right, and we will see you guys next week with mystery guests. So have a good one, and we'll see you soon. All right. Catch us. Mic's off. Now they're off.